What's up, Benchwarmers? We are back. The Bench of the Voices here. We're recording this special Friday night episode because we have a special guest in the house. But before we introduce him, my name's Diego, and I'm joined on either side by Ricky and Marco. You may be noticing that we're probably one typical Benchwarmer short, but we've replaced him. That's the good news.
Well, just temporarily.
Does that mean Eric's replaceable?
I didn't mean it like that.
You said it, not me.
That came
Let
out
the
wrong.
viewers tell us, or listeners.
We'll let the viewers vote. No, of course not. I want to give a very warm round of applause for Cris, who's joining us. We finally found a City fan. The same way that City put out the social media influencer, the job posting.
Oh yeah.
Apply for that, dude.
Why do you think I'm here?
We put one out. We put one out for City fans.
I saw the ad. And I decided, why not? I need some money. So I know.
You should definitely move out to England.
Just for that. Yeah. Listen, some really quick housekeeping before we get started here. We have some good Champions League review for you guys. Some big games on the weekend, and we want to remind you that we always have Tech Ball available for anyone to try it out. So if you have an event, if you have an academy, if you play for your high school, if you have some sort of spring season that's coming up, let us know. Reach out to us. We'd be glad to arrange any kind of event or showing up for, I guess, maybe your teams. You could try it out. And that's something that we always want to remind you because we have Tech Ball here available for you all. That being said, where can they catch us? Either Ricky or Marco. I'm gonna let you guys hash it out.
I got it.
What's up, Marco? Where can they listen to us?
They can listen to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher by searching Benchwarmers FC.
Nice. You can also like, comment, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter by searching Benchwarmers FC1.
And if you want to watch our YouTube videos of our podcast or future Tech Ball videos, you never know. We might have one before the year ends.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You can do it on YouTube at Benchwarmers FC TV.
Nice. And Ricky, where can they write us?
They can email us to Benchwarmers. I'm sorry, I fucked up.
Oh,
they can email us.
Wrong email, guys.
Yeah, don't email us there because then
Ricky's only been out for like a month.
I'm a little rusty, guys. No, you can send us an email or inquire about the Tech Ball table at bench.benchwarmersfc.com.
Absolutely. And when you get to any of our social media channels, like we remind you guys, the open invite. Make sure you like, comment, follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Write out to us on what you want us to discuss or talk about or debate. We want to hear from all of our followers and listeners, people just like you. That being said, is the whistle nearby? I don't know. I think it's behind your back.
Is it
Yeah, it's right there.
It's right. I think you could reach it. A little more. Nice little. There it is. Hit that whistle, boy. Oh, come on. A little hard.
People next door. I want to wake them up.
The referee not a win.
All right, bet. So, we're going to go to some Champions League recap, and we're going to start with...
Hell yeah.
No,
Sorry,
it's
I wanted that to be the background.
That's your...
I wanted that to be the background.
But this week, Arsenal was on Champions, so...
Oh my God, yo! Arsenal gets a fixture change. Arsenal gets a fixture change, and all these gunners think that they could do the. Well, at least we don't play on Thursdays this week. Get out of here!
No. I'm sorry. Why the switch? Like, what caused it?
It is because actually I looked it up. Vitória Guimarães and another team, they would have played. I think another Brazil-based team. I should know this, but it's because. Yes, Portuguese-based team. They would have played. They both had home fixtures.
Okay, and they share the stadium.
And no, they're very close in the vicinity. So the police actually had requested this. Arsenal knew about the switch since September.
Oh, okay.
And so they requested for that fixture to be moved because they wouldn't have enough resources to cover both matches.
Okay, all right.
So it wasn't Emery getting cheeky and like, yo, give us that Wednesday fixture real quick, just so we get that banter. Give us that banter for a week.
Let us rest a little bit. City.
Oh, wait, an extra day of rest. I mean, it worked out for them, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Either way, going back to Champions League matches, we had Barcelona tying to Slavia Prague. Where a lot of people, even myself, I thought that was going to be a blowout, honestly.
Oh, yeah, they were coming out.
And they fell flat again. There were some clips where Messi was driving towards goal. He had an open Griezmann on his left-hand side, and he ain't
What
passed the ball.
happened was.
Oh my God. He ain't passed the ball. What happened there? Do you think I'll make the question to you guys. I'll make it nice and easy, open ended. Do you think Barcelona is turning into a one-man team?
I think they've been after Neymar.
Are they too Messi dependent?
Yes. After Neymar left, I think they've been looking for that thing that will keep them not being a Messi dependent, and they couldn't find it with
Griezmann.
With first off with
Coutinho.
And then
what's his name? Oh my God! You see, that's how irrelevant this is. Now I'm kidding.
And then with Griezmann, they still haven't found it.
Yeah.
So now they are Messi dependent because everybody else
is not stepping up. What do you think, Cris?
I don't think Messi's gonna leave anytime soon because they're too stubborn with what Messi is.
Fair.
I think Messi will leave on his own terms, and when you see him leave, you'll probably see something similar to what happened with Liverpool when Coutinho left. With Coutinho's absence, you really saw Liverpool flourish in different areas of the team.
Interesting.
And they actually had a title.
They had the title push.
They had a title push against City, which is.
Well, that same year.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So I think we'll see something really similar with Barcelona.
Really?
But
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, with signings like Griezmann, if Griezmann stays in the team, I don't know how old he would be at the time if Messi were to retire from Barcelona. But you would have up and coming players like De Jong and Semedo. I know through the side he's pretty good. I don't know too much about Barcelona, so I'll follow him.
That's fine.
I feel like that would happen.
That's fair.
I don't know, because the same year that Coutinho left was when Van Dijk was brought in. So the Coutinho money helped to bring in Van Dijk.
That's right.
Because Coutinho left in the winter, Van Dijk came in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
So that also helped Liverpool.
But you also have...
they're not going to get money for him.
That's true. But you also had the same thing that happened with Manchester United where they brought in a defender. Defensively, they're fine. Like, they're not conceding too many goals, but attacking, they're really lacking.
They're floundering,
and yeah, we can win a couple games with defense, but you definitely need attacking.
Definitely need to put them in. What do you think, Ricky? You think Barcelona is now feeling the pressure for being too Messi dependent? Now, this is just something, I'm not saying that's what it is. No. I'm saying, could this be signs that he can't put the team on his back like he did before?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. Like, I think it's obviously it's gonna be felt. Like it's gonna have an impact. I'm gonna say it's gonna have a negative impact because it's just like you're so used to playing with this guy for so many years, and you basically build your team around this guy. So when he leaves, it's just like it's gonna be a little stumble. So but I don't think it's gonna be like super bad. I think
you predict a Real Madrid.
I think it's gonna be a rebuilding process, but maybe by then, they'll have these younger players start to step up. So that's why I'm like, okay, there's gonna be a little stumble there, but it's not gonna be anything like major, like where they're gonna be in crisis.
I mean, imagine that scenario though. This is a small, no disrespect, this is a smaller side as far as like opposition wise in Slavia Prague.
Definitely.
And then I'm talking specifically because this is the one replay that I've been seeing everywhere, where Messi is pushing in, driving from the right channel into the center, and he has Griezmann wide open. If I told you that play without the names of the players, wouldn't you be upset if that was your team and you missed that scoring opportunity?
Yes.
Absolutely, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean...
Yeah, because it has Messi's name on it, people try to justify it.
You think he gets a pass?
People try to justify it, but there's no justifying that. And going back to Ricky's point, I feel like if you lose your superstar, you can definitely feel the impact, and there's no clear example of this in Real Madrid when Cristiano Ronaldo left.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was not just because he's a phenomenal player on the pitch, but off the pitch, man, he's pretty much a second coach, if not more.
Well, he was the team leader. He was, even though he wasn't captain, he led the locker room.
Exactly.
And he put the team on his back, and he put the pressure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna zoom on. That's one of the reasons why he ended up leaving.
He's a freak.
He felt the pressure too much, but there's a clear, like you said, there's a clear picture of what can happen to Barcelona once Messi leaves, and we've seen glimpses of it. The times that Messi hasn't played or is on the bench, you can see the team stumble or crumble, and then Messi hops in for those last 10 minutes, and he ends up changing the whole game.
Maybe that might be because they can depend on Messi. It's like, oh, like we're fucking up right now. We can still bring on Messi, But if you're in the mindset like there's no more Messi, I have to step up. then maybe you can see a change in the team.
Yeah, maybe you can.
Well, that's the thing. They brought Griezmann so that he could be the one to step up.
But he don't even get the ball.
That's the thing.
He don't even get the ball.
And the one time he did step up, it was one game alone. That I've seen.
I remember that.
up.
Yes. I
And
remember that.
think
it was early in the season.
6-goal. It was
It was a blowout.
Sevilla.
Yeah, and
Or
he scored a
somebody
brace.
like that, yeah.
Yep. I remember that. I mean, I would hope that it continues and they keep posting up bad results, but that's just my biased self speaking.
Yeah,
I had to let that out. And we're gonna move on to another. Speaking about multi-goal thrillers, Chelsea Ajax, 4-4.
What a steal!
That was it blew my mind. I watched that game from beginning to end.
I watched it too, and what a steal! Ajax should have walked away with no
You think
problem
so?
at all.
So you saw two players got not red carded but double yellows
In a span of 1 minute each.
in the span of a
It's like
minute.
the same play. They both got double yellows. They both got red cards.
I didn't watch the game.
That's fine.
What a fucking game.
Yeah, no,
I'm so mad I
it was
missed
still a great game. It really was. But I guess just to recap it, we had Ajax definitely in the driver's seat, up 4-1 at some point. And you thought, that's it. Like, this is it. Because a lot of people were saying that Frank Lampard's team was overperforming. That Chelsea was just doing too well for a player manager or a former player manager coming in, having his first chance at, like, elite football. No disrespect to Derby, but having his first chance in the Premier League and stuff like that. And they're saying, they're going to falter. They concede too many goals. They're not short up at the back. There's only so much that Tammy Abraham and Mason Mount can do to help this team out.
Yeah, and they really stepped up.
And they really did, and they have. And in this game, it kind of showed that. It's still, I have my own takes from it, and that it showed that they're still conceding too many goals to keep up this form. But definitely that play helped them out a lot. And it helped them out a lot. Because they scored immediately after that.
Yeah, like in the 2
And then
minutes
being 2 men up, they scored again in a few minutes, and then they almost took the 5-4 if it wasn't for VAR. Again, I don't want to fall down the VAR rabbit hole because we do that a lot on the podcast.
It's been a topic that has been covered multiple times.
A lot of times, yes, very often. So I don't want to go there too much, but essentially the two players that were booked, they were booked earlier in the match for just fouls, your standard foul. And in the play that was leading up to them getting sent off, the first one, who was Veltman, if I'm not mistaken, he took out Tammy Abraham on the build-up. The referee allowed play to go on, and it fell, I forget to who, but they took a shot. I think it might have been Kovacic, and the shot went right into the box and hit the second player in the hand. So after VAR was reviewing and the play went dead, he gave the first yellow to Veltman, who was sent off for accumulation, and then VAR communicated that it hit the hand of the other guy who was already on a yellow, and that had to be a yellow anyway because I think that I'm saying that's what they told him.
Because at first I didn't think he.
I don't think it was intentional.
Like
I'm gonna say that I don't think he actually put his hand out.
Like,
if it was,
but it hit him in hand.
Exactly. If it was like if it's handball, fine. Like definitely, there's footage where the soccer ball touches his hand. Fine. Like PK all over it. But to card him too and then send him off also, I think that was a bit much.
Yeah, because it wasn't intentional.
Right.
Penalty, fine. Yeah, call it. Because his hand was like a little
it was
away
like
from his body, but
foot off his body.
yeah, I don't think he should have been carded.
It wasn't like an arm raise, like slap down.
It
wasn't a volleyball spike.
His hand just to see if he can reach.
The goalie
It was
died.
like or dive. Yeah, like I've seen plenty of those.
Yeah.
That they literally like, all right, there's a 50-50 chance if they give me a penalty, I'll walk away with the red, but the goalkeeper might block it.
It wasn't
a secure goal, but this one wasn't even that.
It wasn't a Suarez smack in the World Cup.
No, nothing like
against
that.
Ghana. No,
nothing like that.
That's what I'm saying, and I feel like I can see it from the point of view for the Ajax fans that they were kind of cheated out of it because they lost an extra man when they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But going by the rule book though, and this is where VAR has always been very tricky this season, if it says handball and if handball is followed by a yellow, like a caution, then you have to do that. And it was this guy's fault, this specific player's fault, that he was yellow carded previously. It just so happened, it might have been a coincidence, a big happy accident for Chelsea, that both players that were sent off were their center backs. So they had no defenders.
And what minute was this?
Oh, this was a good 70th minute?
Like 76 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. So they went away.
So they had a good 20 minutes with stoppage included, which
it was a long stoppage.
No.
Yes.
No, it was 4 minutes.
Oh, 7.
It was 7 minutes?
Yeah.
I think it was 7.
I remember thinking, what was the one that they gave 4 minutes? Oh, the Everton match.
Oh, that's what.
Everton Spurs, they gave 4 minutes of stoppage for that whole thing. Like a dude got his ankle torn up, and they gave 4 minutes. Here they gave a quick VAR call, and they gave twice as much. So anyway, the consistency is wild. I just got to.
Leagues, that's why.
That's what I'm saying. The consistency with VAR is very different.
Right now, I trust more VAR on the Champions League Champions League.
On the Champions League side?
On the EPL. Even though they did fuck up that one for Ajax.
Yes.
I think it's a little bit more fair compared to the EPL one that they're not even reviewing the play. They're just allowing the person that's on the VAR side of things look at it and be like, okay, this is the call.
So you had Reece James tied up 4-4, and they took the 5-4. Just to kind of recap this match, which was ruled off. I believe it was an offside, if I'm not mistaken.
Offside.
It was ruled off for offside, which was, that's fine. Not an armpit, like an actual offside. That's another thing too. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Is this Chelsea? Was this display a resilient Chelsea, or was it Ajax that was hard done by the officiating or by the decisions made?
I mean, a little bit of both.
You got to give me one side, Ricky. You always say yes and no.
Well, I'm very
both,
neutral.
one side and the other side.
No, because look, like 4-1. Maybe
that's game over. That's game over.
Yeah, exactly.
You literally turn off the TV at that point.
Exactly.
If you're watching at home.
So if you're on the losing side, you're also like, all right, it's game over. Fuck it, we lost this one. Like, all right, so you're just going through the motions. But they showed resiliency because they came back from that.
Okay.
Yeah, with luck. Yeah, with help. But if they didn't have that mentality, then it would have stayed like that. Maybe they would have scored another goal or two, but not tied.
Right.
So that's why I say both.
What do you think, Cris? Seeing it
I don't know. I
want to know your City perspective on this. How much of a threat Chelsea is looking like, or are you still not taking them seriously?
No, I don't take Chelsea serious for the EPL.
I can say that pretty right to it.
Well, it's simple because Frank Lampard is so new to managing a team under EPL. It's you can't see how he's gonna go in the long run. Like the hardest part of the calendar is yet to come, which is December with all those games.
Yes,
it's gonna be awesome to see him really navigate that in a way that his players aren't gonna get injured, so that the rest of the season can go smoothly. And just tactically, it's exhausting for the players, and I want to see how he keeps the mentality up, even if they're behind by so many points like they are right now.
Absolutely.
But we'll see what happens.
4-4. I mean, they're already out of the EFL Cup, so they don't have to worry about that. They're still doing fairly well in Champions League for what it's worth, and they're sitting I believe in fourth place.
We discussed it last podcast. Chelsea still hasn't had that big game to actually prove us that they're
the real deal.
Yeah, they're the real deal.
I remember. Yeah,
season is their season. This one could have been it, and for the most part, Ajax took over and showed them that they're not they're not what everybody else sees.
Sure.
They were down 4-1 with 11 people on the 11 players on the pitch for Ajax. They only came back because they lost
the man advantage.
Ajax lost 2 center backs, and Ajax were crumbling to figure out what the hell they're gonna have to do.
That was true.
So that's the only reason now. Is Chelsea doing well? Yes. Until they play Liverpool or Man City, I'm still not.
You're still not sold?
I still don't think they're.
Yeah, it's until they play a cold, rainy night in Stoke. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They definitely do. They have to get through that. Let's see. The next one that's here, just to roll through these, because Champions League is what happened this week.
Yeah.
We have Borussia Dortmund coming back in another cracker of a match against Inter Milan.
It was this week. I think it was kind of like a comeback kind of week.
Comeback week, sure.
Because Inter Milan were up 2-0.
They're in control for sure.
They were in control for the whole game. It was kind of a boring game.
It was.
It got better towards the last 20 minutes. But Inter had it, and for some reason, Inter just decided to put their hands down. And that's when Dortmund just came in and just ripped them apart and ended up walking away with a 3-2. It was crazy to watch. And the 2 of the goals came from a defender. From a right back, Hakim.
Hakimi.
Yeah. Which was crazy. They were good goals too.
They were great goals.
So I don't know what the hell happened to Inter that they just put their hands down.
Listen, I just want to get off my chest because I'm gonna do it every time it comes up. For everybody saying that Lukaku leaving was a blessing in disguise, he disappeared again. He could put him past. He can put him past 18th place Brescia every week in Serie A, but when it comes to the Juventus and the Dortmunds of the world, my man disappears. Is that really the striker that you want? In comparison, though, I will give plaudits for Lautaro Martinez because that fool is. I think that fool is the closest thing to a dedicated like killer up front. He doesn't miss. And it's scary to see that. And he did that for Argentina. He's doing it for Inter. I think this guy I'll put the question for both Ricky and Cris. Is this guy someone that you would value at 100 mil? Would you pay 100 mil for Lautaro?
100 mil Lautaro? Not yet.
No?
Not yet.
First season, right?
First season.
His first season, a big team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with the transfer market the way it is right now, I wouldn't be fucking surprised if someone actually bought him for that price. But like 100 mil, I don't see it.
Nice.
I definitely don't see it.
Okay.
Maybe if they had like a very successful Champions League campaign with the Inter, and he really shines as like the captain pretty much of like goal scoring.
Right.
Then maybe you can see him go for that price next season. But still, I think it's too early.
What do you think, bro?
Nah, not 100 mil.
This is the same guy that scored like 3 goals against Mexico. So I feel that sting too.
Yeah, but I like Chris said, it's too early. You know who I would pay 100 mil to see though?
Do you have 100 mil to buy?
Yo! Hey, what's up? Hey, Rick. What's up, baby?
Yeah, speaking of 100 mil.
$100 million man.
99 because he's wearing that jersey.
Oh, -1.
The one that you were repping in the beginning of the season?
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. Selected memory.
Shit, bro. I remember that.
I do remember that.
Yeah, because Diego was repping the one behind him. To his right side.
Wow. Listen.
What's up, boys?
We're just talking about Lautaro Martinez. Would you pay 100 mil for him?
Inter guy?
Yeah.
You see, you already know. He's been doing work for Inter, so now Inter's finally like somewhat in the conversation. Isn't he the one doing the work for them? Would you pay 100 mil?
Not yet.
I feel like you were here, like.
Nah, I literally just got
You heard the
I'm
whole
surprised
conversation
you-
out there.
Yeah,
I just heard that something about 3 goals on Mexico.
Wow.
That may take away
selective
the whole
hearing. Selective hearing. That's crazy.
No, but I mean, one season. You know, let's see what it's Serie A too. Let's be real. I thought, he actually scored for them in Champions, right?
2, I think.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The fact that he scored for them in Champions and Lukaku didn't. Again, against a big team.
And the biggest Borussia, this is a loss.
Yeah, they put
Not
their
yet,
hands
not
down.
yet. Just
Not
give
yet?
it some time.
Alright, that's fine. That's
What about
fine.
you?
What? Would I pay 100 mil for Martinez? Honestly, bro, United needs somebody up front. So the way they're spending on players, I'm gonna be a realist about it, and they be spending crazy sometimes. So it's kind of weird. I think though, segueing into prospects, we're gonna talk about a certain 18-year-old Rodrigo putting a perfect hat trick
It was a fluke.
on display.
Luke.
That's crazy. All right, so a fluke how? Why? When?
I think it's like one-time thing that usually happens with superstars.
Yeah?
Especially the young ones. It gets in their head. I'll be gladly proven wrong if that would be the case.
So you're saying Phil Foden over Rodrigo Goes?
Right now, yeah, absolutely.
So let me get this right. Pep Guardiola says Phil Foden is the best player he's ever coached.
I never said that.
Pep Guardiola came out and said that. What? He doesn't get any burn though.
Wait, what did he say?
That Phil Foden is the best player
He's
ever
like the
coached.
greatest.
I don't think that's an
talent.
exact quote, but for him to say something even in that region is pretty absurd because he can coach Messi. Like, there's no.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no
Like,
comparison.
how are you gonna say that they're coaching Messi?
And there's some superstars in Barcelona, but Foden's up there. Like, I can see some pretty special things from him.
Listen. We're
I
not
don't
trying
know.
to make this about City, man. We're
Yeah.
talking about Rodrigo Goes and his
Yeah.
perfect hat trick.
See, he wants to change the subject because he knows I'm right.
Uh-oh.
He wants to,
we'll
like,
get to this
come at
later
me.
when it comes up.
But address Rodrigo.
What?
Is Rodrigo the perfect replacement for a lacking Real Madrid attack?
No. I mean,
mind you, they paid 100 mil for a certain Hamburglar Jr.
Hamburger for real.
Hamburger.
I mean,
That's fucked up.
So is he the replacement now that Real Madrid need? No. But will he be the answer for the problems that the goal drought that they're having in the future? I
How
think
about
so.
this? Can you see him slotting in to take Benzema's role?
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely not.
Oh
thing-
my
anytime
god! At the
soon,
same
no.
time, we got a yes and a no.
The thing is that when you say we fix Real Madrid, they lost one of the best players in the world. You're not going to replace that. There's
Sure.
no way going to replace that.
So that's what I'm talking about. The guy that's on there right now, Benzema.
Yeah, Benzema's aging out, and we see it. We all know it. Zidane still loves the guy and still gives him so much praise and playing time. And I think the captain armband, if I'm not mistaken, besides Ramos,
Third captain, yes.
their captain. So is he on his way out? I think so. Actually, there's reports of him going back to France next year, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Rodrigo, there's a reason why Real Madrid picked him up so young. It's a lot of excitement around the kid. I mean, he had what, 2 goals in a matter of 3 minutes.
But
I don't think
before-
that's a fluke.
Nah.
And before that, that's the inconsistencies of Zidane, of starting a player who's hot and then benching him. He did that with Rodrigo a lot. And who does he play over him? Vinicius most of the time, who can't score for the life of him.
That was actually the hot topic for the week after seeing this display. Vinicius or Rodrigo, who would you pick to start?
At the moment, Vinicius. Rodrigo.
We'll see what will happen. I would start Rodrigo too, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
hopefully his confidence is in the sky.
Yeah,
We'll see
of
if
course.
something comes out of it.
For
Mhm.
sure. I mean, we've seen Vinicius. He cannot score.
He
He's
just
been
doesn't
there
have
This
it.
is the second season. Still
He don't
the
have
same
it.
issue.
Now, I think this is also playing devil's advocate. It's kind of papering the cracks over a certain person who's missing for a while, paying over 100 mil for Hazard, and he's not showing any signs of improvement. What is going on? Even in Champions League, I remember reading a stat. I wish I had screenshot it or something, that there was a player already that was equaling his Champions League tally. I think it was that Haaland guy, the Norwegian kid, the 19-year-old. But
Leipzig?
From Salzburg. I might be completely wrong, but I was still. The fact is, he's not performing.
Hazard shit right now. Yes.
So what? What's going on? What's the deal?
That's a conversation. And I don't want to put a pin in it right now, but it's something that we're gonna talk. We actually mentioned before that we want to talk about next week,
Really?
on Thursday.
Right.
And what Mark, you want to kind of elaborate on that? What you were
Yeah,
saying?
so for what? For the upcoming podcast?
He's like nodding.
Like, what?
He was falling asleep.
We are going to talk about Hazard, and the topic is top 5 players and their purchases, like the top 5 purchases this season,
Mm-hmm.
and how are they doing so far?
For
with their
example,
team?
Pepe.
Hazard.
Hazard's another one. Like, they're new to the league, first season, and we want to give a review and a rating on them and actually break down the statistics behind.
Good.
their
Coutinho's
performances.
another one, even though he was
Coutinho.
a
Bayern,
loan.
Griezmann.
Griezmann.
There's a lot
Absolutely.
of players that we can really dive into, and even in Man City, you have João Cancelo. There's a lot of players that we can really dive into who are big prospects and see how they're doing now.
And-
So I think this next week episode Thursday we're thinking
Yeah.
about doing that.
And then
Yes.
We're gonna I think it's be a better analysis as to why
In-depth.
in-depth analysis as to why they're not performing or what's actually slacking. What are they doing good at? What are they not doing good
That's
at?
a good introduction for a new segment that we're going to have, so we can analyze these players and what their
Yeah.
actual performance is on these new teams.
And then we can also
Very
compare them
exciting.
to the free agents that left this season, how they're performing, and
Mhm.
and how's the whole
Like
is
Ramsey.
money more than leaving your team for free, and then how much production, how much they end up
Did-
saving.
And who knows? Maybe Zidane might hear us and fucking take that shit into consideration.
Did Spurs pick up Llorente on a free?
Yes, yeah, they did
Right?
last season. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he had a winning goal for them in a couple instances.
That's going to be a very interesting conversation to have, whether money really talks or if you just got to be smart with your recruitments.
They were smart
Did you
with
read the report today
No.
about Mbapers?
Oh, that's right.
250 mil?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck outta here.
250?
Yeah, who's fucking up that money, trying to fuck up the money is Liverpool.
Liverpool be,
I'm over it.
Liverpool be stupid as fuck to buy him.
I'm over it. I'm over it, blood. I'm over it, blood.
You even got the troops' eyes. You're the crazy stare.
Fucking hell, man.
Segueing into when you mentioned João Cancelo, the last match that we wanted to kind of go over. of course, that we selected. I know that there's many other matches that went on during the Champions League match week, but there's so many. We did want to talk about Atalanta 2, Man City 2. A game where...
It was 1-1.
Oh, sorry, 1-1. That's my mistake. We saw Sterling get on the board early. Atalanta tie, and then I don't know what happened to Ederson, man.
Yeah, what happened to Ederson? I want to ask you that.
I think it was... If I remember correctly, Pep was very slick about it, and he was like, "Oh, it was just the possibility of I think it was a lower leg injury, and we took him out, and now he's confirmed out. So we had Bravo get in goal,
Bravo,
and so far, unfortunately, for being on a team like City, Bravo has conceded every shot he's faced in the Champions League.
I have no confidence in Bravo. But
that's a good way to start your...
Yeah, we gotta be honest with it. But his red card wasn't his fault. It was obvious that it was Gundogan's fault for losing the ball in the middle of the damn pitch. That's something that should absolutely never happen.
Dived.
No, it was a clear red card. There was no way. Bravo handled the situation perfectly. What he needed to do, he did. He went for the challenge. He's not an outfield player, so he timed it terribly, and he got the fucking foul. That's what you want.
Guardiola's tactical foul, dark arts.
Yeah, that's it at play. If not, we would have lost that game.
Why is Pep talking shit for? Because he came out and talked about Mane, which, again, we'll talk about later, but, you know.
He called Mane a diver. Salah's a diver now.
So that we saw, I love seeing this, team aside. I love seeing when players on the pitch can step up and they get put in goal when they're forced to get put in goal. And we saw Kyle Walker, missing hairline and everything, put on the jersey, put on the gloves, and he was like, let's go.
Bro, when that first shot came at him, the free kick, I was like,
he spilled it.
He spilled it. I was like, yes. And then nothing happened after that.
No, it's...
it was for what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, it was a 10-minute cameo on in the 80th minute. And the entirety of football Twitter, football Instagram, football meme world was saying that he had more saves than Alisson. And
more clean sheets.
Oh, yeah, more clean sheets. Sorry, yeah, more clean sheets than
all
these keepers.
He broke a lot of records in 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes, yeah.
I think he made more saves than English goalkeepers in the past few years. That's fucking insane.
Crazy.
One.
It's super cool to see stuff like that, though. That's one of the things that makes the sport exciting.
Yeah,
but it should have never happened.
Of course not. No, of course not. Bravo should have had that.
City should have bagged that game. Sterling fucking in the 6th minute to score. You would think it was going to be a blowout.
That's what I thought too. I was like, yeah, Sterling on form. Sterling captain for the weekend. Let's go, fantasy.
I completely choked. Obviously, they always control the game. That goes with no surprise. But
now this was interestingly an away match. Do you think it's the away factor that's holding City back? Or is it just their form right now? The fact that I'm not sure if this is it, but I feel like most of the games where they play Fernandinho as a makeshift center back, things have kind of gone wrong for them.
Yeah,
whether it's Fernandinho getting sent off or someone else getting sent off.
Fernandinho's not center back. I remember Guardiola tried doing the same thing with Mascherano, and I don't think it worked. Mascherano's a terrible player, center back, horrible. So if he thinks he wants to do the same thing with Fernandinho, it's not going to work.
It's not.
You're gonna have the blunders that we're having with. Fernandinho not in particular, but he has committed a couple penalties.
Absolutely,
that's a goal.
And that goes back to the fact, like you said, he's a makeshift center back. He's not a true center back.
No, I don't know.
He's a holding midfielder, and he's phenomenal at it.
And plus, the previous season, you had him fucking committing fouls on purpose.
Yes.
So that little mechanism, that muscle memory is still going to be there.
So, yeah.
Interesting tidbit. That kind of concludes all of the Champions League games for the week. Do you guys want to dive in a little bit into Europe?
I mean, that kind of sums up, Arsenal performance.
Oh my God. What was it? The 85th or something like that they scored?
85th, yeah. Guimedo, I think it was. Guimedo scored. Portuguese side. We should have completely dominated this game. But, Emery Ball, man, doesn't know what the hell.
I mean, they only had to hold because Arsenal was leading. They had maybe 10, 15 minutes to go.
Correct.
And then I think they got equalized in stoppage time, if I'm not mistaken. What does this mean? I thought they were going to do well because they actually played a interesting lineup.
So, all right. So this is the thing. Arsenal have an issue. They play phenomenal in Europa. They play phenomenal in Europa.
Just one.
And one. And they play like shit in the Premier League. But they fixed that issue. they play like shit in the Premier League, and they play like shit in Europa now.
Oh, so now
So
it matches.
they fixed it.
Oh, they fixed it.
They fixed it.
Oh my
Good job,
god.
they did something right.
Oh my
So now
God.
they have no issues.
Now they have no issues. Now it's just shit all around. But I mean,
Well,
all right.
at least it's consistent.
It could, yeah.
No,
whatever.
now it's consistent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So now it's consistently inconsistent. So there you go. That sums up, I mean, if you want to look at the game, this game could have easily gone 3-1, us losing, hands
Really?
down. And Michael, we were watching the game together, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I heard him snoring, and I was dozing off too. This was-
Marco.
It was bad.
I thought that only happened in
Marco,
United
you-
fans.
you snore like that, bro?
Yeah.
Bro,
I look over, it is all.
I was trying to hide it too. I was like this.
I saw it, but I'm not gonna lie, I started dozing
Yeah,
off too.
bro,
It was just
yeah.
a boring
Arsenal
game.
Arsenal scored in the 80th minute. Mustafi making up for past mistakes.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Mustafi making up for past mistakes. And then
sorry, Eric was like, "Yo, Mustafi actually played well." The minute he says that, he made
Oh,
that. He
the
put
wrong
that ball almost that hit the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Bottom. He instantly happened. I'm like, you should have never said it.
No, but ironically, he had man of the match, and to me, he was actually our best player on the field.
Mustafi.
Yeah,
Saying a lot.
that's saying a lot. Exactly, that's saying a lot for the kids. And I don't think this is a reflection of the team that we had. I think it's a reflection of Emery because he keeps falling back to putting all of the faith in the young players. I get that, you want to develop them, but there's times where you got to play them and pull them back a bit. These kids are 18, 19 years old.
Too young.
Too young to put that much pressure on them. Throw them back in the U21 game and have them score like 10 goals on a fucking smaller team. Get the comments back up and then bring them back. Not just, hey, go win us a game in Europa, because that's not going to happen. Martinelli, I love the kid. He had so much energy, but there was nothing going to him because who was behind him? Another 18-year-old, 19-year-old. It's like, what do you, I don't know what Emery's trying to do at this point. He said that we tried hard. It's like, bro, if you come out and say we play like shit and we look like shit, you know what? At least we acknowledge that. But the fact that you're going out there and saying that, we tried hard, the tactics, they work.
Oh yeah, it worked tactically or
It's
something like
bro, what are you even saying now, man? It's like now you're just making our horrible performances you're making it look like it's on purpose.
that. Even sillier, yeah, of course.
And that's not what Arsenal is.
To give some credit to Vitoria Guimaraes, they actually equalized on a pretty acrobatic overhead. It was like the cross.
Yeah.
It headed across goal. So it was crossed from the right side, headed across, and then Duarte guided his overhead kick
And
in between a sea of
like I said,
yellow shirts.
easily, it could have been 3-1. In the first 15-20 minutes, they had 3 beautiful shots on us, and Martinez came in clutch. It's bad. It's really bad right now. And what does he do? He plays Tierney and Pep in 90 minutes when we have Leicester coming on the weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
He benched Bellerin, so that's my assumption that he's going to play this weekend. But you're going to give these two guys 90 minutes?
Knowing Emery, he might not even use him at all.
He might not even use him, bro. I don't even know what he's going to do.
Yeah,
at
this could
point.
definitely be looked at as maybe like a B-side as far as maybe the attacking front.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's doing Lacazette late.
But she threw in Lacazette with maybe half an hour to go.
Yeah.
And Guendouzi was put in maybe 10 minutes before that, but...
And it's because Ceballos got injured and he's playing Ceballos out of position.
Mm-hmm.
Ceballos is not the kind of player that Emery expects him to be, which is a box to box. He does not have the pace for it, nor the stamina. We saw that. We saw that. He got burnt. He got burnt. And it's crazy because you see them do the rondo and the quick passes in between each other. But once they get onto the pitch, those 3-4 yards in between each other turn into like 20-30 yards in between each other.
And that's no longer...
And then there's no longer the chemistry.
Mhm.
That's and my last point on this, because I don't want to keep talking about it. We'll talk about it more when we got to the Leicester conversation.
Yeah, of course.
Is my problem right now with the Europa squad and the Premier League squad and the constant changes in formation. That's why we don't see the old Arsenal under Arsenal where it was tiki taka, like boom, 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 boom. Because every game, every half is a different formation, it's a different tactic. So how the hell am I supposed to know that you're going to be making that run this week, but last week you were supposed to be back. You're supposed to be back there because you're playing a 3-4-3. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like 3-5-2.
Yeah, it's constantly changing. So these players aren't getting accustomed. Like Man City, like Sterling will close his eye and put the ball on KDB's head, or vice versa.
Vice versa. That's vice versa right there.
That's the thing. Like they know each other. They know what runs they're gonna make. They know what Pep expects from them. These guys look lost. They look lost. They don't know what they're doing.
So, I mean, that being said, there were some notable, just to yell them out real quick. We had Celtic qualifying in the 95th minute. That was actually pretty. I saw the commentary for that match, like highlights, and they were going nuts. So shout out to Celtic for qualifying for the knockouts. United go through. They qualify 3-0, and right now it was tied between United and Sevilla for the only teams that hadn't conceded so far in Europa League. And Sevilla conceded twice, but they won 5-2. So now United are the only team to not have conceded so far, and they were the second team to have qualified. So
you're
for what competition?
Yeah, for real. He's like super proud of this.
No, I'm saying that. I'm not saying I'm not, bro. I'm not putting anything
why
else.
Why bring it up?
I bring it up because they won 3-0.
And your relevant stat.
That's another clean sheet, man. What do you mean? It actually it'll be relevant when you guys hear what another stat I have coming up. And,
please
in
do the
OT,
honors. Do the honors. Do the honors.
Yeah, I can say Martinez had 4 saves, but one goal on him, so it sounds great.
Thank
it's all
you.
Perspective, man. The context.
Listen, if they haven't conceded yet, I'm fine with that.
Thank you.
We had let's see.
It's not a good one to do it.
So Roma.
It's an old one. It's an old one.
We had Jimenez in the 92nd minute.
Again.
In the 92nd minute.
Header, right?
Goals, header into the top corner of the goal.
Yeah.
So there's that, I guess, like really short recap for Europa. Some interesting results here, but there's so many teams. We gotta look to see who's actually gonna make it through, and who might be falling down into the knockouts from Champions League.
Yeah, that's kind of
more interesting.
Getting me nervous because that's who we'll probably be facing down the road.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So that kind of wraps up kickoff. We're gonna sign off really quick for a quick break. We'll get onto Instagram halftime live, like we always say. Join us for the debate, the banter, the back and forth by searching up our Instagram and joining the live broadcast. We'll be back with OT.
OT. Never much love when we go OT.
What's up, Benchwarmers? We are back after an eventful Instagram halftime live and a nice little studio chat with everybody here. I think the halftimes are actually getting better. I really appreciate everyone that was coming out. I like that Erik was shouting out all of you guys that come and join us for the halftime debates and the halftime live chats. We want more of you to show up, man. We actually had Jose on, so you can look at that. You can look at that live stream on our Instagram. It's up on our story, so you can watch that clip really quick. Jose was our first requested follower that joined on the halftime chat, the halftime debate. So anyone else that wants to join, make sure you request us when you watch us next week. Going into overtime, though, we got a few matches that we want to highlight, some games to watch. Yay. And Erik over here with the Arsenal stripes. Leicester City.
I'm sorry, I can give it.
Leicester City and Arsenal. What do you think is gonna happen, man? I'm gonna put it.
I think
I'm gonna put it right. I'm gonna put it just like that. What do you think is gonna happen for this match?
Leicester City blowout?
Really?
Yeah. Nah, I don't think a blowout, but
it's not a blowout. But look, right now Leicester have found a form that they're actually 1 point better. I'm sure you saw that stat already.
Yes,
they're 1 point better than they were
in
the Wonder season. So that's not to show that they're gonna win the Premier League, of course, but
top six.
I say top 4. Their current form, I just can't see how if they continue this all season. There's no way they're gonna.
Who's gonna be at the top 6 then?
At top 4, top 6.
Top 4.
Top 4 is gonna be between us two.
United, Arsenal.
Chelsea are looking solid. Frank Lampard just got played.
If Chelsea burn out, realistically, Chelsea as well. They might miss out on top 4.
But
Spurs is.
Yeah,
I think they already kind of are counting themselves out to their demerit, of course, because they should be doing a lot better.
But I mean,
back to the match.
Yeah, to the match. Leicester are in a form right now that it's scary to go against them. I think for any team at this point, Vardy is on. Vardy party's back.
Definitely,
the Vardy party's back. He is, I think, one of the best, if not the best striker in the Premier League right now.
Yeah,
just because he is
over Oba. He just bit his tongue.
Just because he has the most goals in the Premier League, I have to say, I can't say Aubameyang has more goals than he's better than Vardy in the Premier League if he doesn't have as more goals as he does.
Wait, how many does Vardy have?
I think 9. Or I think
he's double digits. He's on 10. Yeah, he's on 10 right now.
So I mean, and it just goes to show that Brendan Rodgers, he knows what he's doing with them. He he switched it up early on. He had, I think, 2 holding mids at one point with Ndidi, and I forget who else he had with aside next
I
to
think it
him.
was Chowdhury. He was kind of tinkering with Chowdhury a few matches, and it wasn't working.
And now you see Ndidi just being the center, the holding mid there. And he's the new Kante. And that's the thing. It's virtually impossible to replace Kante.
Absolutely.
I can't not see another player playing like him. But Ndidi is kind of, reminiscing. Yeah, it's like the ghost of Kante, But in a way, Ndidi's Ndidi, and he's doing a great job. Now, on Arsenal side, what happened this week? Let's just give a quick snapshot as to what happened. We choked against
Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret.
Oh no, Victoria Gimenez.
Who did he play in the Premier League again? That we fucking also drew again. Oh fuck, who was it? We just played them last week.
Wasn't it Wolves?
Wolves.
No.
Was it Wolves? No.
Wolves, no.
It wasn't Wolves. It was.
I lied. I'm sorry.
No,
it wasn't.
Was it Crystal Palace either?
It's gonna bother me now. So while I pull that up real quick, it's Xhaka apparently is not playing for Arsenal ever again. So the captaincy issue. That's Aubameyang is the main captain
He's
now.
not gonna play for it
Emery
ever
said
again.
Emery said that.
Ever again.
Emery said it today.
ever.
He said that today.
No
Again.
way.
I-
How the fuck do you say that?
He just said it. Bro, look at it. Look at it this way, man. If you can pull up the game.
But what
actually.
did he say?
So Emery came out today saying that during an interview, he's like, Xhaka's still not ready to play. His mind's not there yet, and I'm not sure if he'll ever play again for Arsenal.
It was Wolves, you guys.
Oh,
I know my
Wolves.
stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Come
well, 'cause
on,
he meant
guys.
it was-
My bad. You're right.
Shut your fucking
Yo,
mouth.
bro.
Wow.
I just didn't
That's
want
just
to
a
sound
lot
dumb,
about
but
what
it was.
happened in Arsenal.
Yeah, and that exactly. So it's a lot of just turmoil happening in the back office and behind the curtains.
What a shocker.
And
Come on, man. I'm
fuck.
way over here.
I got you. Hit it again.
What a shocker.
there you go.
Let's go.
So now, what can Arsenal do to prepare for this game going into it? Right now, the benefit of Xhaka not playing for Arsenal anymore is that means that spot's going to open up for Torreira.
So you think what, like an 8-1-1?
Technically, yes. But
8-1-1
knowing
formation?
whatchamacallit, he will put Warlock or Ceballos there.
Well, the thing is that they got full 90 minutes since Ceballos is injured. So
Oh, you're right.
Ceballos
My
not
bad. You're right.
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I could easily see.
I'm behind
Yo.
the
I'm kidding.
This is the part of the season, ladies and gents, where
we start
Arsenal
going at each
fans start to turn on each other. This cannibalistic behavior doesn't usually show up until the second half of the season, but here it is.
We're almost there anyway. So what I think is going to happen this weekend, just given the fact that what's going on right now and who's available, Torreira Guendouzi. I think we're going to get the lineup we're looking for.
Finally,
I think they're.
So,
I'm hoping they're going balls out. Like
so-
I think so.
completely.
Torreira Guendouzi, I would say maybe Laka, Ozil, Pepe, Oba up front.
Yeah, and Bellerin.
Dude, on
you-
paper,
you-
that fucking front.
Right, on
four
paper,
is
it sounds crazy, right?
phenomenal.
Yo,
But
even
they
with
just-
Pepe playing 90 minutes in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
with
he
it.
He
played
was
him.
given a break earlier against Wolves. He didn't
Even
at all.
feature.
Plus,
no.
we did play on Wednesday, so give him an extra day of rest.
Gave it their rest. I think he's gonna get the full 90. At least make an appearance. But I think we're gonna get the front four that we've been dying to see with the holding midfielders. Hopefully, I mean, again, this might be a long shot, but just given everything that's going on, I could see that happening. Bellerin, he didn't play against Victoria's Secret, so I can definitely see him starting.
That's fucked up because they're a Portuguese team.
The center backs, I mean, the center backs that's always gonna be our flaw.
You just got 1 point less of your Portuguese card.
She's not listening. So it's
Portuguese card.
I'm
and-
telling Santos.
and as
Citizenship
far
revoked.
as,
I'm telling Santos.
as far as our left back goes, I it's gonna be either Kolasinac, obviously, most likely, but I can still see Tierney making the squad because he came out also supporting Emery. So and Emery loves to have his ego stroked by the players, and all the
Okay.
players are backing him. So with that squad, I would feel confident. I would feel confident in a draw, not a win, just
That's being
because we
realistic.
can't.
Oh,
stop.
wow.
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry. Because on
Wow.
paper, without Emery and the quality of players that we have on the team, to Eric say that, it's like, come on.
It just
It's
shows.
like if
it shows where the
anybody
team is
else,
at.
if
He's
anybody
being
else
realistic, it shows where the
was
team is
coach
at.
of that team, you would always automatically assume that they're gonna win.
Listen, we could get into coaches upon coaches when it comes
Yeah.
to the Arsenal job, man.
Yeah, like
because-
if Arsenal was there, I'd say, oh yeah, we're winning this with that squad. We're winning this. I'm not doubting that. just because Arsenal stuck to the
tiki-taka
same
role,
style of
yeah,
football.
yeah.
Now, how about I'm gonna hit you guys with this one. That same squad, starting lineup with Mourinho as manager.
No, man.
Wouldn't
What
work.
happened?
You can't.
What happened?
No.
You saw what happened in United.
Okay.
You witnessed. You experienced that. What happened? It went defensive. We're not a defensive team. We can't stop 20 shots against Victoria Gamado. I don't know who it was.
Guimaraes, bro.
Guimaraes,
Come
whatever.
on, man. Where's your
Another point.
Another point. on the
Whatever,
Portuguese
man. I
card,
don't care.
bro.
But Victoria's Secret. I'm gonna call Victoria's Secret from that one.
Permanent residency revoked.
Revoked, bro.
But not. We can't even stop 20 shots against them. How are we gonna stop shots against the top 6 teams? And
Okay.
Mourinho couldn't do it at United. He's not gonna do it at Arsenal.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
And it's shooting yourself in the foot because the guy has literally put our name to shame.
Put down the team. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
remember
just
you saying
completely
that.
ridiculed us in so many different ways. And but that's another conversation. You know, I'm not into the what if coach, what if that coach. At the end of the day, this game is gonna fall onto Emery and what tactics he needs for this game because we all know he likes to tweak each game to the opposition, which kills me because we should be the bigger team going into this squad,
Right.
into this game.
Mm-hmm.
So what's gonna happen? If this squad that I'm assuming is gonna happen is gonna play this weekend, I can definitely see a draw, maybe a win, just because Emery, I think his job is on the line right now. Just given this game, and if you watch his interview against in the Europa League,
Yeah.
he had the face of a manager who's like, all right, if
He
I lose,
recognizes
I'm gonna
the
get sacked.
situation. Exactly. All
Like, He
right.
knows he's on a hot seat right now, and any given moment, it's all right. You got the axe.
One or
You're
two
gone.
matches. That's
Do you
it.
think that even with the tie he'll get sacked?
Yeah, because we're 6 points clear. They're 6 points clear ahead of us. That's if they beat us or if we draw, that's given 9 or 8 points ahead of us. I'm sorry.
I think if Arsenal draw, it'd be a lifeline. I think he'll live to fight another day.
It's like beep 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 beep.
it's like we have a heart.
But
we have a
that's
heart
the thing.
murmur.
Like for me,
I have a heart murmur.
if I was the one to make the decision, it would be you win or you're out. As simple as that. It's
My man's ruthless.
international window. Might as well. Eric said it last week.
Yes.
Perfect timing to do it.
Yeah, and
That's
I may have spoken too soon when I said that because I've done more research after the last recording, and one thing I did realize is that everybody in the whole squad, a whole team of coaches, as from goalkeeping up to where he's at. So that means we have to replace everybody. And I don't know if international break is going to be enough time to introduce Freddie Ljungberg. I'm pretty sure he's going to be the caretaker and bring in a whole new coaching staff. And then turn their season around. That may be a lot to ask for in a caretaker, and we might fall into the same situation that United fell into with Ollie, where we fall in love.
He might have an Ollie effect and have a resurgency under Ljungberg. I can just to speaking to having a former player on the team, I can see that kind of like, I guess, catalyzing them to do a lot better, like overperform, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I can concede that. Certainly, especially after, like I said, hindsight is always 20/20. Seeing how United overperformed under Ollie for those first few months, and then they fell absolutely flat, especially with the last 2 matches of the season, where they either lost or they drew to, I think, the bottom half teams, where they could have easily secured 3rd or 4th place. So I don't know. I think right now I'm gonna put it real simple. Christian, what's your score prediction for Leicester Arsenal? Leicester's hosting, by the way.
2-1 Leicester.
2-1 Leicester. Marco, you're over there in the back. What you think, my man?
0-0.
0-0. So with an on-fire Aubameyang and an on-fire Vardy, 0 goals?
Wait, is that your real prediction, or just
0-0?
Hey, wow, dude.
I love Marco's predictions, bro. I absolutely love Marco's.
When I'm right, I'm right. But when I'm wrong, I'm always right.
Always wrong.
No shit.
Right, Always
Wow.
wrong. Marco, those are
Wow.
the.
Right to live by.
Let me quote that, please.
Oh, that's on a t-shirt. Listen, Ricky, what you think? Your score prediction.
Damn.
Can you make a post of that, please? Picture of me in the gray in the background with the lettering says,
I got you,
when I'm
bro.
right, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
When I'm
When I'm wrong, I'm always wrong.
All right, Ricky,
Please,
what you
thank you.
think, bro?
All right. I was actually gonna go with 2-1 initially, but just to be different, I'm gonna go with 3-2. Just because,
3-2, bro. You're going to have 5-goal thriller?
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be 3-1. I think Arsenal are going to take an early goal. I feel like they're gonna get their tactics right at the beginning. But the way Brendan Rodgers has been setting up his team, I feel like they're just gonna put the knife to their throat, and it's gonna be 3-1 by full time. I will also say I think VAR is going to be huge in this match too. I think with both teams, I think it's gonna be involved.
It sounds like another player now. It sounds like Bar's another player, but
Moving on,
I'm gonna give this score purely out of you know my
heart.
Out of heart.
Listen. There's a reason why you wear the jersey. There's a reason why you support the club. Give us that prediction.
I'm
gonna give it 3-2 Arsenal.
3-2 Arsenal.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. That's what you gotta do. You gotta have faith in your team.
Or
even if it's completely a complete disappointment in the end, but it's all good.
I'm used to it.
So Liverpool, Man City, a match that we hope doesn't disappoint and fall flat because we've seen that.
It's happened plenty of times.
We've seen that. I'm gonna give the floor to you, Christian. How do you think? And we got into a little bit right before halftime, I believe, and a little bit during. We're talking about who has more pressure. How do you think Pep will line up to counter what Klopp has at his disposal? And we're talking about pretty much a fully fit squad. I don't think he's reported any injuries. Definitely bombing up the flanks with Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. How do you stop, I guess, right now? The other interesting thing is that they've had different goal scorers recently. They have not. They have definitely a misfiring Salah, but you got Salah to deal with. Mane, who was called a diver by Guardiola recently this week.
Chamberlain, who's been fucking.
You have Chamberlain, who also is coming in
Walker's
form.
a diver too. You saw him.
Oh yeah, he
like 5
fell
seconds.
on the pitch. Yeah, it's a kill time.
I saw a new name for this matchup actually.
What was it called?
Instead of a Clásico or the Northern Derby or what's called United and Liverpool one.
Asakiko, bro.
This
For United Arsenal.
Sakio. This is the Crossio.
Yeah, the Clásico.
The Clásico. There you go. I like that Clásico.
The Clásico. Listen, they're gonna be balls whipped in entire match.
That's what you said.
What you
really
think?
exciting game.
What you think, Christian? Let us know.
I think Liverpool's gonna be controlling the game for the most part because we're really missing quite a few players.
Who's home?
Liverpool's hosting.
Oh yeah, Anfield,
It's
man.
Anfield,
Jesus.
So I think Liverpool will control the game. I think it really depends on how we'll be defensively, but like we've seen in past games, City's been pretty shaky in the back. Ends it up pretty well with Benjamin Mendy and Walker, which are starting fullbacks. I think it should be fine controlling the flanks. My only problem will be the center backs with Otamendi and Fernandinho, which would be my prediction for the lineup because that's how Pep has been the whole time, and it's such a terrible center back duo, and I don't have very high hopes for them. That being said, hopefully they can control the game, but realistically, I don't think they are. With Gundogan in the middle and Kevin De Bruyne, WCL is doubtful because he's coming out of injury, and you have Sergio Aguero, Bernardo Silva, and Riyad Mahrez most likely in the top. So we'll see how that goes. If he's able to control it defensively, I think they can take the game. But with that duo, I don't think so.
Who do you think is gonna be the biggest challenge for Man City to stop this game around? Is it gonna be Mane? Is it gonna be Salah? Or is it gonna be
I think it's gonna be themselves. As long as they don't fuck up anything, I think it should be fine. Especially with Bravo in the back, he's so prone to having those mistakes that just lead to goal, and especially with Otamendi right there. I don't know. And then again, you take out the element that I mentioned before of playing from the back, which is so fundamental. So many plays of City. So
there's some wild. I'm gonna hit you with some wild stats just to make this a little more interesting because I think this really it blows my mind. So I'm gonna read them off like this. Liverpool have lost only one of their last 28 top flight home games against Man City. Their last loss was in May 2003, a 2-1 loss. That also said, Liverpool have only lost one of their last 50 Premier League matches. So they're 41-8-1, and that loss came against City in January.
I remember that one.
However, City, although they are winless in their last 16 away matches against Liverpool, they're the ones that have taken the most points in that matchup. They've won 11 of their last 12 Premier League away games. What? So they're the stats are all over the place as far as home form for Liverpool, away form for City, both pluses. When they go head to head, Liverpool has the edge.
Correct. Now, I do want to make a quick point on that. Before you give your take on that, is we should definitely consider the fact that Pep wasn't there for all those games.
Yes, that's right.
You know, this Pep Man City squad is different. This is one of a kind.
Yeah, Manchester City have failed to score in only 6 of their last 62 away games under Guardiola.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean that I think we should be more looking at the
stats.
Klopp stats and Pep stats under Man City and Liverpool. So,
Well, if you look at take that into account, Klopp hasn't beat. He eliminated them from Champions League, and that weighs heavy on Pep's mind. I'm sure he hasn't forgotten that.
Absolutely.
And all the times that he's taking points away from them from
the Premier League,
pretty much an undefeated season.
Mm-hmm.
So he took that away from them as well. I know you're a fucking relieved because that's the only talking point you have.
Oh.
I just thank
bang,
you,
bang,
man.
bang.
I didn't say anything. I mean, nobody can do it besides us. So
there you go. See,
I didn't bring. Hey, you brought it up, not me. You brought it up, not me. I'm just saying thank you for shining light on the best Premier League side ever to play.
Oh my God! I don't know. Hit it.
Hey, look. People have tried, but only one succeeded.
Oh my
That's it,
God!
Yo, I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up, bro. He brought it up.
Listen.
I just said thank you. That's all I said. And
Weren't you gunning on me for bringing up meaningless stats earlier? In the
I didn't bring it up. He brought it up.
I don't know, bro.
He
Why
brought
you
it
keep
up.
talking about it?
So knowing that for some reason City happened to struggle against Liverpool specifically. Liverpool have been strong at home, but it looks like this might be the time where Guardiola takes it to them and he's like, listen, it's also it was very even in terms of the league leaders facing the reigning champions. Like whenever that matchup has come up, each side has won 9. So it's very, very split. I think it could go either way. But as far as what you
With
think,
injuries.
you think the injuries are going to do City in?
Yeah. You could definitely see in their style play, it's going to be different.
So you think, are you predicting right now there's going to be a Bravo slip up? Or some sort of Bravo error that's going to lead to an opportunity?
Define Bravo error.
Let's say him maybe spilling a ball or mishandling a shot and rebounding somewhere. I would see more of like maybe a misplaced pass, like he's trying to clear out of the back and it inadvertently goes to a Liverpool player.
I see him being out of position and then scoring a goal that shouldn't have gone in. That's one of my main concerns, and that's true with Ederson too. I've seen him off his line that he's supposed to be on.
He can recover though.
Yeah, he recovers
to his credit, he can recover.
Well, but there has been goals where he's been caught off his line and simple shots just go in for no reason. But those shots shouldn't be fired anyway, so we'll see how it goes.
Right before predictions, anyone got anything else?
I do want to say something. I think that this game isn't going to be all out what we're expecting it to be.
I think they're going to be very reserved too.
Very reserved, just because Klopp, he's not stupid. Obviously, we all know that. He's a genius in the game. He sees the defensive issues that Liverpool are having. He knows
he has to exploit that.
And yeah.
But he knows if he exploits, they have an offense to punish him.
Exactly. And Pep, on the other hand, he knows that you guys have injuries as well. And he knows that defensively, you guys aren't that strong. So I think both these sides are going to go in reserve. I can't really see this going. I can't see this being like a 4 or 5 game goal. I see it being like a 1-1.
A 1-1. That's the first prediction in. Marco, what do you think? Liverpool City. What's your score prediction?
As much as I want City to win this one, I do think it's going to end up with a tie. But I think it's going to be like a 2-2.
2-2 tie? All right, we got 1-1. We got 2-2. Ricky.
I'm actually going to go with like a 1-0.
Who's winning?
I don't know.
Yo, stop being on the fence, bro. Pick a side.
I think Liverpool takes it.
Liverpool 1-0. I'll go. So I want to keep Cris last. I'm going to put it, just because I feel like what we said, I think Guardiola is going to take an approach where we're going to have to score because we're going to get scored on. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be like maybe a 3-2. That I'm gonna put high scoring. I think they're gonna.
That's Liverpool's way.
No, I think it's gonna be 3-2 City's way.
Wow.
Anfield, man.
Anfield. It's just it's Anfield.
I think it's gonna be 3-2 City's way.
That's a big shout.
I was gonna say the same exact scoreline. I think Sterling will really shine, and I want him to shine in Anfield.
Really?
I really want him to shine.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would
He's
love.
No,
to see that.
He's done it before.
I started off with saying I really want Man City to win this one, but
It's Anfield.
It's Anfield.
Oh,
Exactly. That's my biggest issue. It's Anfield. knowing what the atmosphere, and Eddie can testify
Fortress,
right
man.
now.
It's a fortress.
It's like you come on, like
you're walking into hostile.
It's
territory,
hard.
man, and you're walking in there with
So,
everybody with a huge target on your back because you took that trophy from Liverpool.
yo, fucking Barcelona gonna do it.
But yeah,
Fuck Barcelona.
Well, I do agree with you on that though, but
so that being said, I guess full credit to the fact that it is Anfield.
how come none of us? This is a little bit biased. None of us gave Liverpool a scoreline right now.
I honestly
Ricky
don't
did.
think, bro.
I did.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
He
gave
gave him
both
1-0.
sides.
You get 1-0.
Joe's
he
Liverpool.
said 1-0,
1-0
have
Liverpool.
50-50 chance of winning.
Chance at one-
And one of the 50s is Liverpool. So.
I don't know, man. We need a neutral in here because I think we all hate Liverpool in a way.
I
we need a
definitely
neutral.
think that's Shine. That's where I gave my scoreline from. I'm gonna be straight up.
Nah, man, I gave mine because I don't want to see them win anymore, but I don't think they're gonna lose either. So
No, it may not be that high scoring, but I can definitely see Sterling maybe putting it on.
Yeah, you got a little bit deeper to help out with the recoveries in the ball, and you'll see Sterling shine.
Sterling, he's matching up against Trent.
Trent isn't strong defensively.
He's not strong
He's
defensively.
he's very strong
Pacey, though.
offensively.
He's pacey and
Sure, but
Yeah,
as
sure.
far as he statistically has been shown to do worse on the defensive side, and his attacking returns are the only thing that are keeping him, I guess, not relevant is harsh a word, but keeping him important to the squad.
Well,
I guess.
it also depends on who they're gonna use next to him. If is it gonna be Matip? Is it gonna be Gomez? Is it gonna Lauburn?
best defender in the world.
So it all depends on who they play. I think it's gonna be Matip.
Should be.
That's in my dick.
Huh?
What?
I'm done.
But yeah, that's gonna influence a lot about this game.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. Listen, we're gonna see what kind of a clash they serve up. Like we said, it could be very reserved. Both coaches could think we got nothing to lose. We gotta go all out, and it might be a goal fest. But it definitely is. Even though, personally, my team isn't involved, I have to admit it's going to be a mouth-watering fixture, like something that we could look forward to, I guess, hopefully.
We'll see.
All right, so before we wrap up, just to hit them with where they can reach us
Well, games to watch.
on Games to Watch.
Bayern Munich,
Nice,
Borussia
nice.
are playing this weekend as well.
Yes.
Tomorrow on Saturday. No worries. That's gonna be a good matchup.
Hell yeah.
Also,
They're classicer. Do you
Yeah.
think that the fact that because we spoke about this, the fact that they sacked Niko Kovac,
They still don't have a coach.
they still don't have a coach. They won this weekend,
Mhm.
and they won during the week.
Mhm.
Also, Champions League. They classified for knockouts. Is that going to mentally affect them? The fact that Dortmund came back as well.
I think Dortmund should have this one in the bag.
Yeah, Dortmund should win.
Yeah,
You
but
think they
Yeah.
are?
I'm not gonna dive into the depth of the squad because I'm not too familiar with them. But I'm
Sure.
definitely gonna watch this game,
Yes,
and I'm gonna give
Games
you
to
my
watch,
opinion on
for
it.
sure.
For
Well,
sure
we'll see
afterwards.
if we can get Andrew here on Monday.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll
And-
give you my prediction after the game. I'm pretty certain I'll be right.
That said, we have also one more match which we think we're highlighting as a Games to Watch.
Under the radar.
Chelsea Crystal Palace. After now, is this a game to watch because of the Ajax comeback, or you think it's going to be something where Crystal Palace are going to be able to take it to
I
Frank
think Crystal
Lampard?
Palace are gonna be.
It's a
with
London
Frank
derby,
Lampard.
isn't it?
And it's a London derby as well.
Mm-hmm.
So derbies always get a little physical, a little dirty. Sometimes the tactics go out the window. They just throw the kitchen sink at it while they're at it.
We have possibility of Mason Mount being injured as
Mason
well.
Mount being injured as well, so it doesn't screw my fantasy week, by the way.
I'm
Sorry,
keeping him
it's
in the
going
team
mine.
just in
Yeah,
case
me
if he
too.
needs to be swapped, he'll get swapped.
That really quick on fantasy, just minute of silence for a second of silence for Pookie because Pookie party is officially over.
It's officially over. I'm
Officially
definitely
over.
getting rid of him
over.
at the end of the when the new free transfer comes along.
Yeah.
I'm getting somebody else.
You should have shifted them out, man. So Chelsea Crystal Palace, we'll see what that serves up for us. That's it for tonight, ladies and gents. Thank you for listening. As far as where they can listen to us, where can they find us?
You can hear us on all these podcast platforms that exist in the world: Spotify, iTunes Podcast, Google Play. It's Google Play,
Google
Podcasts,
Podcasts.
Google
man.
Podcast,
Apple Podcasts.
Stitcher, and I'm trying to get us on iHeartRadio.
Yes. Okay,
So
cool.
we're trying to get on there, and make sure you guys tune in.
Sounds cool.
Sweet. You can also find us on any of the following social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter by searching Benchwarmers FC. Where can they watch us, Marco?
And they can watch us, our podcast, and hopefully future very long distance stick ball and other videos on YouTube at Benchwarmers FC.
I like
TV.
how he always brings the volume down, kind of makes it nice and serene. I like that.
Trying to seduce you.
A little bit.
This is just for you, Diego.
That's right. Where can they write to us so they can seduce you even more?
They can write to us on their keyboard, on the computer, or on the keyboard on their mobile devices. And send an email to us at benchwarmersfc.com.
And make sure, everyone, that when you hit all of our social media platforms and our channels, that you hit like, comment, follow, subscribe. Like today, we had our very first guest on the Instagram halftime, Jose. Shout out to him. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from all you guys. A big round of applause for Christian for making it through today. Repping City. Repping Man City.
Always.
We always like to have you around, man.
Always, as of 2 years ago. So
it's like finding unicorns.
Finding unicorns.
And you'll find Cris in the Empty Head and as a what is it called?
Oh, as an influencer.
Oh, an influencer? Oh, yes.
I'm kidding.
Oh, but they're on my social media, so
Exactly. So you're the perfect influencer.
All right, everyone, and thank you for listening. We're the Benchwarmers, and this is the Bench of the Voice, where the bench is always warm. Peace.
Peace.
Actually, mine was kind of cold.
Too. My ass is freezing right now.
Your arse.
My arse is